Welcome to the Poker Cannonball Run.
You start at the Red Ball Garage, where all Cannonball runs start. You finish at the Portofino Hotel in California. You must cash poker tournaments in each state along the way in order to move along to the next state. You can't go diagonal across the border. So Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, you can't go diagonal. Your body would obviously go into another state, mess everything up. Once you enter a state, you must stay in that state until you cash. Across the country, you can do it in 9 states, 10 states, however many you want to do it. But you got to cash in each state along the way. We're stuck in Pennsylvania. Here's a little bit about the journey. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification button. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. The Philadelphia skyline here on the horizon. We're driving from Parks down to Rivers, Philadelphia. We're gonna see if we can do 3 tournaments in one day if we don't have success in all 3. But we're gonna do our best here to multiply the odds by as many tournaments as possible. So Rivers, Philadelphia, 10-15 tournament is the first one. It's 15-minute levels, so if we don't do well, there's another tournament at 11:15 just up the road at Live. Breaking out Wayne Gretzky again because the Philadelphia athletes didn't do the job yesterday. I feel very comfortable in this Wayne Gretzky jersey. But we were moments away from taking the exit off I-95 to go to Rivers, Philadelphia. The Rivers Schenectady rewards card does not work at Rivers, Philadelphia. Just spoke to the poker room. They said they'll make a card for me at the poker room, so we don't have to go to the rewards desk, which is nice. Let's focus on this first tournament. Let's just cash here. But we've got some backups for the rest of the day. There's 2 more at Live. There's 1 at Wind Creek if we want for tonight. So we're gonna focus on these tournaments and we'll keep you up to date. After coming home last night, I really need to do laundry, but I haven't found time to do laundry yet. Focused on sleeping, so got a full 8 hours of sleep. There's Rivers Casino, Philadelphia. Tuesday, October 29th, Rivers, Philadelphia, 10:15 a.m. $55 to enter, 15,000 starting, 15-minute levels. I walk into the poker room and there's barely anyone there. There's just like a couple people at the table. This tournament's gonna be rough. That did not go well at the Rivers Philadelphia Casino. 5 players got knocked out. Lost about half my chips, went from 15,000 to 7,500. Blinds going up. King, queen, only 5 of us. I went all in, ran into ace, king, and aces. Somehow I got knocked out, went up against ace, king, and aces. Obligatory 400, 800, 800. I am short on chips, just 7,500. Initial starting stack, double that. Playing 5-handed, under the gun, king, queen off. 2 Broadway cards, short on chips, an obvious shove, and I push all in. Next to act, folds, button, folds, small blind, all in, 17,000. Here we go. Over to the big blind, another all in, 27,000. Now this is looking a little dangerous. Let's flip them over. I've got king, queen off. My opponents, small blind, ace, king, and the big blind, pocket aces. That looks like trouble. Flippity floppity. Queen, jack, 3. We hit top pair. Does us no good. The turn, 8 of clubs. The river, jack of diamonds. Small blind doesn't hit their straight. I don't hit 3 of a kind. Pocket aces holds up, sends us to the rail. I am not feeling this tournament. Let's get out of here. Let's find somewhere else to play. So my king, queen, all in did not do the job. There were only 5 of us. I wasn't loving the vibe. As I left, more people were coming in. But we're off to live casino here in Philadelphia. It's going to be a bigger tournament than that one. And the blinds are more reasonable. So we're going to go to this next spot. Parking entrance is here on the right. First time at Philly Live, the Triple Stacks tournament. You start with 30,000 in chips. For a $5 add-on, you get an additional 10,000. So starting stack, a very hefty 40,000 chips. Tuesday, October 29th, Philly Live, 11:15, triple stacks, 30,000 starting, 20-minute levels. Obligatory 200, 300, 300, playing 8-handed, folds around to me in the small blind. I look down at ace king. All right, raise it up, 1,000. And the big blind has about double my stack, 70,300 chips, and the big blind makes the call. Flippity floppity, ace, queen, jack, all sorts of Broadway cards on this flop. I check, and the big blind bets 1,500. All right, the big blind's got to have something. This is good. Raise it up, 3,000. Big blind looks me over and makes the call. Here's the turn. 6 of spades. All right, I bet 3,500. Big blind quickly calls. The river, 10 of diamonds. Woohoo! All right, we've got a straight. I lead out for 7,500. Big blind takes a moment and makes the call. Flip them over. I flip over my straight. And the big blind shows ace of clubs, 6 of clubs for 2 pair. Our rivered straight ends up taking the pot. Obligatory 200, 400, 400. Under the gun +1 calls the 400. Under the gun +2 also calls. The cutoff calls. The small blind calls. I'm in the big blind. Queen, 5, heart, heart. We're just going to check it. So 5 of us, family style, go on to the flop. Flippity floppity, 7 of hearts, king of hearts, 8 of clubs. Small blind checks. And now we have a lot of hearts here. As the big blind, when I have a flush possibility or an open-ended straight draw, I always like to build a pot or show that I'm strong in the hand. I lead out for 1,500. Now over to first act. This guy wearing bluff paraphernalia. His hat says something about bluffing. His shirt says something about bluffing. Earlier in the day, he had bluffed me with air and took home a pot with a big bet. And I must have had at least top pair, and I folded. So he's aggressive, knows how to bluff, and he makes the call. Second to act, folds. The cutoff calls the 1,500, and the small blind folds. The turn, ace of spades. Now I like to just keep showing strength. I make it 2,500. Now, back to the guy who's aggressive, first to act. He raises it up to 8,500. He's got like 70,000 in chips, so he can definitely afford a big bet. Over to the cutoff. The cutoff, takes a moment and folds. Now back to me, and I'm in a bad spot. I did not want a raise on my 2,500. I don't have anything. Maybe this guy can smell it. I don't know. However, the way he's been playing, if I hit a heart, if a heart comes out, I am going to come away with a lot of chips. He will pay me off. I guarantee it. All right. Time to just invest 6,000 more and see if we can come up with something on the river. So I make the call. Now the river, 6 of hearts. We could not have drawn it up better. Over to me, and I bet 26,000. This guy with the bluffing paraphernalia, he's been aggressive. He starts chatting, looking me over. Why such a big bet? And then he says, well, you saw me bluff you earlier. Is that somehow factoring into this bet? He took a lot of time. He's going back and forth. I'm being my stoic. Don't make a move. Don't give anything away. At one point, I thought he was going to fold. But again, my read before was if I could get this flush, he would pay me off. And he does. He makes the call. I flip over my flush, and the steam starts coming out of his ears. He doesn't show, but he was mad. He must have had at least an ace. Definitely upset. And we win a big pot. Obligatory 200, 400, 400. Under the gun +1 calls. I'm in the cutoff, and I look down at ace of spades, king of spades. Raise it up to 1,500. Over to the button. The button has 55,000 in chips, and the button makes the call. Folds around to under the gun +1. Under the gun +1, 38,000 in chips. And now under the gun +1 also calls, and 3 of us onto the flop. Flippity floppity, jack of spades, 9 of spades, 4 of spades. And this is like the best flop that we could imagine. How about that? Under the gun +1 checks. This flop is so strong. I cannot show that I hit this flop at all. Like, we've got the nuts. We need somebody else in this hand to make a move first. I just check. I check. The button also checks. And we're on to the turn. The turn, 3 of clubs. Somewhat of a blank. Still good for us. We still have the nuts. Under the gun +1 checks. Again, I would love to bet. I'd love to build a pot, but I am still so strong. Please, somebody else have something. I just check. And now the button bets 3,000. All right, let's go. Under the gun +1 folds. We, of course, have the nuts, so we love this button betting into us. Raise it up, 6,000. The button has been somewhat aggressive. The guy to his left, even more aggressive. But this guy's also been aggressive. Hasn't ever played with me before. Seen me pushed around once where the other aggressive guy got me to fold something. He raises it up to 23,500. Now again, I've been severely bluffed once at this table. I take my time to think. I'm doing my best to look nervous. I am jumping for joy on the inside. Still have the nuts. Now, what do I do here? Do we just call? Can we raise? If I raise, what would he call with here? So challenging. I'm just so excited with the nuts. I want to get it in now. Hopefully he's got multiple spades, right? And this is just going to be a monster win. Raise it up, 47,000. Well, now the guy really goes in the tank. He's not talking. He's looking at me, and I'm trying to give nothing away. But he thinks and he thinks, and then he pushes his cards in and folds and says, you know, I had you, blah, blah, blah. Ugh. I think I totally caught him bluffing or with something not as strong as I'd hoped. And I probably could have won more if I just called and done something different on the river, but whatever. We take home another pot, and we are on a severe run good.
All right, quick bite on break. We got the pizza from Lorenzo and Sons Pizza. Gino's was over there. We passed on that. Maybe ice cream later if we do well. No ice cream, no pastries on this trip. But back to the pizza. We have a few minutes before the break ends. Off back to poker. We've got like 108,000 in chips after one break. Started with 40,000.
Obligatory 1,000, 2,000, 2,000. Under the gun calls the 2,000. Under the gun +1 raises it up to 4,000. Over to the under the gun +2. What do these guys have? Under the gun +2 raises it up to 12,000. Action in the first three positions. Now folds around to me. I'm in the big blind. I look down. Pocket aces. All right, three people making bigger and bigger bets. And now we've got aces. Let's not give it away. Oh, I've got a decision here. Let me think. That under the gun +2, he has a similar stack size to what I've got. This table, they don't have a good read on me. Normally I have a tight perception by others at the table. In this one, I've been playing just a tad looser. No one's played with me before. I'm all over the place. I don't know all the rules. So they have a different read on me than they normally have. And I decide, let's make a move right here. I push all in with my aces. The all in gets the under the gun to fold. Under the gun +1 also folds. And now the guy who bet 12,000, same stack size as my stack, he is thinking. I can tell he's calculating. How much does he put in? How much does he have left? I am just dreaming about a call, like trying not to give anything away, peeking over to see what he's thinking and what he's saying. And then under the gun +2 does make the call. That's what we wanted. We've got aces. We are ahead of whatever he's got. Flip him over. I've got pocket aces. Under the gun +2, pocket tens. We are way ahead. Flippity floppity. 4, 8, 9. All right. The turn. 10 of diamonds. What? Where did this card come from? We are 80-20 ahead, way back at the beginning of this hand, and he hits a 10. What is going on? If we could double our stack, we've got a big stack. We are getting out of Pennsylvania, and now we are just in deep, deep doo-doo. The river. King of hearts. That's no good. We are practically going home. Pennsylvania, I hate you. My home state not being good to me. So frustrating. Afterward, the guy with tens remarks, "Oh, I thought you were playing so tight. I almost folded, but I had tens." So maybe my reputation was that I was tight. Oh! Obligatory 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, trying to spin up my very small stack. I'm under the gun +1. King, queen off. Not much of a decision here. We go all in. Small blind calls. Big blind calls. The flop. 4, king, 8. All right, we hit our king. Check, check. The turn. Queen of clubs. Check, check. The river. 3 of clubs. Check, check. I am excited to flip over my cards. Flip them over. I show king, queen. I've got top pair kings. The small blind. King of diamonds, 8 of clubs. The big blind. King of hearts, 6 of spades. And we lose to the flush. I will never get out of Pennsylvania. That is a wrap from the morning session, early afternoon at Philly Live. Oh! So annoying, so annoying. Worked my way up from a starting stack of 40,000 to 80,000, then got it up to 110,000, then card dead.
So annoying. I'm now 0 for 4 here in Philadelphia and getting frustrated. This is not fun. Now, the interesting thing is Philly Live is right near the stadiums. There's the Eagles Stadium back there. I did win $380 in free slots play. If you enjoy these videos for the frustrated Jason, frustrated Papa Poker, he's back, 0 for 4, and I am annoyed. So on this trip, I did really bad this morning, but I've lost a 65-35, a 65-35, and now an 80-20 for 3 of these 4 knockouts. Today's, that win, I would have been fine. I would have cashed. 28 people left and like double or 2.5 the average stack. Now I got to go do laundry. Very exciting. And then head back to Parks and then pick whether to go to Live or Wind Creek tonight. I may go to Wind Creek, I think. But more to come. Thanks for staying with me. And I am pissed as New York now. So, just so annoying. Making the right plays, that's a positive. But stuck in Pennsylvania now. Pennsylvania's supposed to be a fast state. It's supposed to get through it quick. More to come. All right, we're here at the laundromat. No trip to Philly is complete without a trip to Wawa. I need a sandwich on my way to the next event. We're here right by the highway at rush hour, so all sorts of ambient noise, but let's run into Wawa, grab a quick sandwich, have it ready for the road, and make sure that we complete our Philly journey by at least stopping by Wawa. We're in Philly, we're at Parks. We got to look up Mike G from Crush Live Poker, host of the Race to the $5 Big Blind podcast. Check him out on the internet, and let's talk with Mike G. All right, we're here with Mike from Crush Live Poker here at Parks, your home casino.
This is my home casino.
Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And so, how'd you get involved in poker, and how'd you get involved with Crush Live Poker?
So poker I got involved with a long time ago. I used to play limit poker before Moneymaker. Rounders, the movie Rounders, got me into poker. The Matt Damon movie, and John Malkovich with the check.
Get out my Oreo cookie, right?
Yeah, that got me into it. And I played poker until about 2004. Then the Moneymaker boom happened. Went from limit to no limit, and I became a dinosaur and quit. I stopped playing poker. Then I moved to Philadelphia in 2015, and there's a whole bunch of rooms. And I played Harrah's, I played at what was called Sugar House, and they had 1-2. And kid next to me says, "Do you do any studying?" And I didn't even think about it. I'm like, "No." "What YouTube channels you watch?" Now forget, I'm 40-something playing with young guys that know the internet. And so he tells me Bart Hanson's name. I look up Bart. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And there was another dude, Doug Polk. And I thought they were the same coaching site, and I found out they weren't. Doug's is a bit more way complex than Bart's. Bart was really simple. I was like, okay, became a subscriber. And I became a subscriber, and Bart is very, I don't want to say hands-on, but he gets involved with his subscribers. He's very personable. So I remember my first big night I had at Sugar House. I had $300, and I turned it into like $1,200 plus the 3. So I walked out of there with like 4 buy-ins. I remember emailing him, and I got a response right back. And then we just started communicating, because you're with the site, and I'm not pitching it, but you could send him one hand a week, and he will give you a response like, "Oh, I would have done this, or I should have done that." So we were sending hands back and forth. He had a guy that worked for him that did the submissions and just dropped off the face of the earth. So I volunteered, yeah, I'll do that. And then I just started working for him, and I've been working for him for 3 years. It's kind of like, I don't know how it happened. I just know I found the site, and now I'm working with him, and it's a really fun thing. Like, it's helped my game a lot.
Well, I know as someone who watches these YouTube videos that pop up, you know, from either I watch the Monday call-in show or see some of the highlight videos, you know, it's just so great to see how Bart reacts to all these hands.
The river's a 9! But the best part about Bart, and I drove down Atlantic City with another subscriber this weekend, and the thing that he does that's just so wonderful is that he takes something that's really complicated and a lunkhead like me couldn't figure out, but he puts it into terms that make sense. So he takes the most difficult things and explains it like I'm a 6-year-old.
And then, where do you play poker? Like,
where
are your spots?
So I play mostly parks. I play 2-5 here. I play it live sometimes, but you were there, so you understand that they don't get many games going, whereas you walk in here, it's huge. So game selection, which if you're not one of the better players in the room, then making money is gonna be difficult. Whereas parks, if so many people walking in and out, you don't have people who are studied or well trained, so to speak. Whereas live, you might. But the other thing is, you have guys who may not be studied, but they're only buying in with $200-300. So there's no money to be made there. So that's why I like parks. And it's unfortunate because I work in the Navy Yard, which is right by the stadium.
And how many Crush Live Poker subscribers do you bump into here in Philadelphia?
There's probably 3 or 4 playing right now, maybe 5 with myself. And usually, everywhere I go, I usually run into 1 or 2. So there are a lot of subscribers out there. A lot of people know who Bart is. So.
And then the Monday call-in show. Do you have any craziest Monday call-in show story that you could share with us?
The craziest one has to be this old guy who played a hand against Andy Stacks. And he called it in and he kept on saying, yeah, well, I was walking the dog, Bart. You understand? I was walking the dog. I know Andy was going to try to bluff me. So I played back at him. And at the end, he went all in. Did you call? No, I folded. So the guy bluffed. So he's talking the whole call about not letting Andy bluff him. He goes, no, I folded. So that's one of them. But we do get a lot of submissions that are wacky.
Classic Philadelphia.
Exactly. At least there wasn't any fights. But yeah, I get them. Some of them, and it's so sad because some of them, when I first started doing this, Bart said, look, you're going to know the good calls from the people who took a bad beat and they're just emotional. And you could read the emotion coming off of it, especially when they forget the whole cards or they give the action wrong, or it's just a bad beat where they had kings and the guy rivered an ace. Something berserk like that, you know? And it taught me also reading the hands, just how some people don't have a solid thought process throughout a hand.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate this. Thank you so
much. Good luck in your travels. By the way, this guy is going everywhere to play poker tournaments, and that's the coolest thing. The only thing that would be cool is if you had like this big Winnebago that he could have a pool on. Do you have a Winnebago with a pool?
I do not have a Winnebago.
Damn it. Otherwise, it is cool, though.
Classic.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks. Mike, we really appreciate you, and thanks for chatting us up about Crush Live Poker.
All right, awesome.
And have an awesome session tonight.
Thanks, bro.
Still thinking about the first half of this day. I really did not enjoy that morning tournament at Rivers, Philadelphia. I guess it was not designed to be a big tournament. They sort of cede the territory to live. We only had 5 people when I was there. It looked like after I got knocked out, a couple more people showed up. I wasn't feeling it. I hadn't put a lot of money in. So when we got knocked out, we didn't rebuy there. We just headed straight over to live. Woo! Those players at live, they love to bluff. They love to think what you were doing. They were in my head. It was so interesting at the beginning, just by dumb luck, I was like playing hand after hand after hand. Early on, this guy wearing all yellow and a bluff everyone patch, he bluffed me, and I had debated. I had a pair of fives, and there were other high cards on the board. And he ended up bluffing, and I had a straight draw. He had a straight draw too with a 2-3 of clubs, and said he missed his straight draw and maybe his club draw. So he's all proud of bluffing me. And then it came around later, and we were going back and forth in this hand. And the fact that he bluffed me before definitely factored in to why he called my big bet. And I had sort of thought he had something. The way the hand had been played, I played it very weird. And then, I don't know, I try and look, after I make a bet, I don't make eye contact. I look straight down at the table. But if I want them to call, I try to look nervous. If I don't want them to call, I try to look strong, which is exactly what they say, right? If someone is looking strong, they're probably weak. If they're looking weak, they're probably strong. I definitely have this. If I want them to call, I look straight at the table, do my best to like turn red and get nervous. Got him to call on the flush. We never saw what he got, but the next hand he put it all in with like Jack 7 and got knocked out. Definitely on tilt. And then this aces hand where I lost his aces to tens, and if I had won that hand, I was cashing for sure. I was already at like 1/16 of the total chips. That would have given me 1/8 of all the chips with like 28 players left. Top 10 or top 8 pay. So annoying. So with that aces, it came around, and I tried to make it look like I was just stealing. Like it was call, raise, 6x raise or 3x raise or whatever it was. It went from 2,000 to 4,000 to 12,000. And so there's a lot of dead money out there. So it's like, okay, let's play it. Let's do our best. And then he was thinking about it. I don't know how he made the call with tens on my all-in, but he put in 12,000. He still had 80,000. He thought I was stealing. I was not stealing. I had aces. But again, I was looking straight down, doing my best to turn red and look nervous and give him the impression that I wasn't making eye contact. And why am I making such a big bet? Well, it's because I have aces. I wanted to disguise them a little, and I thought he might call. He did call. The flop, no 10. What is the percentage then with 2 cards left? He just has to hit 2 cards, 2 outs. So annoying. So, stopped by Parks, talked to Mike G. Now, running up to Wind Creek. We could have gone back to live. If we don't make it at Wind Creek today, we're back at live tomorrow. Both tournaments are tomorrow at live. So it's like, okay, let's spice this up. I really liked Wind Creek. Nice room. And we're going to get there with we took some time talking to Mike G, so it's going to be maybe 20, 25 minutes after the tournament starts. So the blind should still be reasonable. We should be able to get to know our table, get things going. Hopefully we're not an alternate. Hopefully we can sit down right away. But particularly proud of getting a couple calls in this tournament. I had 3 hands. I literally just played these 3 hands that I'm recapping are the 3 hands that I played. Like literally I played 3 hands. There were a couple others, but 3 hands, and they all worked out very well until a 2 out or 10 just shows up. Oh, so annoying. All right, off to Wind Creek. The one thing is, if we get the job done at Wind Creek, it's the same as getting the job done earlier today. We still got to move on to Ohio. So let's just get it done today. We're 0-for-4 in Pennsylvania. Our stats are not great, but let's get to 1-for-5. Let's move on to Ohio. I was planning to stop and sleep at my dad's no matter what, so hopefully we bang it out today, not tomorrow. We'll see how long we get stuck here. We're definitely stuck here, but hopefully we get moving soon, and we'll talk to you soon. Tuesday, October 29th, Wind Creek, 7:15 p.m., $100 no limit hold'em, 15,000 starting, 20-minute levels.
Obligatory 100, 200. Playing 8-handed. I am the third person to act, actually the low jack 8-handed. I look down at pocket threes. Let's raise it up. Raise to 500. Folds around to the big blind. The big blind, 25,000 in chips to start the hand. The big blind takes a moment and makes the call, and it's the two of us onto the flop. Flippity floppity, 10, 4, 3. This is a good flop. The big blind bets for 1,500. All right, we're really strong. I don't want to scare him off. I make the call for 1,500. And the turn, king of clubs. Now the big blind slows down. The big blind checks. I have no need to slow down. We are in great shape. Bet 2,000. Big blind takes a moment, and the big blind makes the call. The river, 4 of clubs. Now the big blind decides to change his tune. Bet 4,000. Of course, we're not going anywhere. We like that bet. Let's go. How big a raise should we do here? All right, most of our stack is a big enough raise. I bet 10,000, which is practically, but not everything of what I've got. The bet, 10,000. The big blind doesn't even really think that long. The big blind takes half a second and then says call. And we know we got to double up here, right? Flip them over. And the big blind has 10 diamond, 9 diamond for pair of 10s. And we get the double up. What a way to start. Obligatory 200, 400. Early position raises it up to 1,000. Early position starting the hand with like 16,000 in chips. I'm in the small blind. Jack of hearts, 10 of hearts. That's good enough to play along. I make the call. Call 1,000. The big blind, 18,000 in chips. Big blind also calls. Flippity floppity. 3 of clubs, king of hearts, 9 of hearts. And we are getting close to a flush. Whenever I have a hand like this where I've got a chance at a monster flush on the way, I like to start building the pot. I like to bet and show strength. So here I am as the small blind first to bet after the flop. And I bet 3,000. This is enough for the big blind to fold. And then early position calls the 3,000. The turn, 4 of hearts. And we have a flush, baby. Small blind. Now I'm too strong. I just check. First to act also checks. And let's take another card. The river, 7 of spades. Okay, I've got a flush. There's money in the pot. Let's get something more out of my opponent. I take one 5,000 chip and just flip it in as my bet. Trying to make it just one chip and seem smaller than it is. It's a 5,000 bet. My opponent goes all in for 12,000. All right, this is music to my ears. I don't have to think that long. I make the call with the flush, flip them over. I show my flush, my opponent, pocket queens. Okay, I guess I understand why they went all in. Regardless, we're up to 50,000 in chips. I forgot Wind Creek is super loud. We're here at the first break. Started with 15,000, joined like 25 minutes late, and we've tripled up. Now we're at like 43,000 here at the first break. It's good to join early at Wind Creek. We had a couple people call with like middle pair twice to double me up. Something like that. Whatever it was, I was like, ooh, you really called with that. But we got him to call. That works. And so, yeah, we're feeling good. We just lost a really small pot. Last hand, raised with ace-2 of diamonds. And that was as the button, the small blind called and successfully bluffed when I missed but we're still doing well here at 43,000 and feeling good. There's like 49 players left, 72 entrants, pays 9. Really like the Wind Creek room. Although the casino is so loud, there's no place to actually record. We'll see if this actually comes out with the microphone. Hopefully it blocks out all the sound from the casino. I guess the casino is supposed to be loud. But yeah, fun table. It's still a rebuy period up through then, so maybe that's why some people were calling with middle pair. And we'll keep pressing on here.
Obligatory 800, 1600, 1600. Getting a little bit low in chips. Just over 10 big blinds. Now playing 7-handed, the button's away from the table. I am under the gun. I look down at ace of clubs, jack of clubs. So essentially we're playing 6-handed. And so I push all in for 18,000. Over to the cutoff a big stack, like 130,000 in chips, looks down, doesn't take long. The cutoff is all in for 130,000. The button is away from the table, so the cutoff is essentially the button. Small blind folds, big blind folds, and I am all in for my tournament life. Flip them over. I've got ace jack. My opponent, ace of hearts, king of spades. That hurts. Yikes. We need a lot of help or we're going home. Flippity floppity. Queen, king, 10. This is my dream flop. Dream flop, flop straight. Here's the turn. Queen of spades, the river, 10 of hearts. No matter. We get the straight, we double up, and we're back at 40,000 in chips. Obligatory 800, 1600, 1600. I'm under the gun +1. Pocket nines. All right, let's just take down a hand. All in. Pocket nines, all in. Folds around. Everybody folds. The big blind. Big blind's got a lot of chips. Big blind thinks. Does he want to mix it up with me? Big blind decides to fold. Big blind flips over. Ace deuce suited. Not good enough. And we take away a few chips.
Second break, we're card dead for a long period of time. Ace jack of clubs, 7-handed, but one guy's away, so we go all in, bump into ace king with the big stack, and we flop the straight. So we're back in this. Flop the straight, got pocket nines.
Obligatory 1,000, 2,000, 2,000. Under the gun, raises it up to 4,000. The hijack calls the 4,000. And then the small blind, one of the shorter stacks, small blind goes by MJ. Small blind also calls the 4,000. I'm in the big blind. I look down. Ace king. I do not want to play ace king against several other people multi-way. We got to raise it up. There's a lot of money in the pot. Raise it up 21,000. Let's go. Let's clear the decks. Under the gun, folds. Hijack, folds. MJ looks at what he has behind. He's got like 10,000 behind. He looks at what's in the pot, what he's already put in. MJ makes the call, puts in the 10,000 he has behind. And it's mano a mano. Let's flip them over. I've got ace king, MJ with queen 10 suited. We like that. We're ahead. Flippity floppity. 10, 6, 3. Okay, I have a bad feeling about this. That was not good. The turn, a deuce. The river, 7 of diamonds. And now MJ doubles up through me. Yikes!
72 players apiece, 9. We're at the final 10. We've got bubble protection, so I'm making cash. I just made it through the big blind and the small blind. The blinds are going up. 19,000 in chips. And the blinds are 488. So that's 20,000. So we can't make it through another round. Okay. All right. So it's like 8 hands. Now, obviously, we could get cards in those 8 hands too. So we're going to have to assess getting cards versus waiting, and all those percentages. We're going to think through them all. We know we messed up this bubble several times. Does bubble protection count? Let me know in the comments.
So I said I had 19,000 left. This casino wouldn't let you take photos at all anywhere. And so I got busted taking photos of my chips after the first break. So then I wasn't taking photos of my chips. And then I was like, man, my chips look low. Like at the table, they had me with 19,000 in chips. I had them check the cameras. It turned out I was supposed to have 21,000 in chips. The dealer somehow shortchanged me and gave me 19,000. That was important. Obligatory 4,000, 8,000, 8,000. Now we have 21,000 in chips. I say it like that's so great. We barely have any chips. We've got 21,000 in chips, just trying to survive. I'm under the gun +3. Look down. Ace 8 off. That's good enough. All in. Over to the big blind. The big blind calls. And the big blind's got Ace 7. That is the best call we could have hoped for. My Ace 8 up against the big blind's Ace 7. Flippity floppity. Ace 10. Deuce. Still looking good. The turn. 3 of clubs. That'll work. The river. Jack of spades. And we've got the double up, and now we've got more than 2.5 big blinds. All right, let's go. Obligatory 6,000, 12,000, 12,000. I have no chips. I am just trying to survive with barely any chips. I've got 1 big blind. We need a hand here. Under the gun calls the 12,000. This is MJ. MJ's got like 300,000 chips. I'm in middle position. Pocket nines. All in. 12,000. Folds around the big blind. Darren in a cowboy hat. Darren's got lots of chips. Darren checks. And flippity floppity. 4 of diamonds. 8 of clubs. 8 of diamonds. Big blind checks. Under the gun checks. The turn. 8 of hearts. We've got a full house. This is looking good. Big blind bets 12,000. Under the gun calls the 12,000. The river, 7 of clubs. Big blind checks. Under the gun checks. They're just trying to take me out. Flip them over. The big blind Darren, 4 of clubs, 6 of clubs. He's got a full house, but our full house is ahead. Under the gun shows king of clubs, 6 of diamonds. We've got that beat too. We show our nines, and we get the triple up. Obligatory 10,000, 20,000, 20,000. Fighting every hand to try and stay alive with barely any chips. On this hand, I'm the big blind. 20,000 in front of me, 16,000 behind. We are running on fumes. Folds around to the small blind, at least double my chips to start the hand. And the small blind goes all in. I look down, queen, jack off. That's good enough. We make the call, flip them over. The small blind, king 10 off. All right, we got 2 live cards. Here we go. Flippity floppity. Ace 8 3. No matches there. The turn, 7 of diamonds. That's not going to work. And the river, a deuce. And that is going to send us home. But wait, we finish 5th. We cash. We check the box. We get the job done. All right, we lose the hand. We win the war. Check the box. Thank you, Wayne Creek, Bethlehem. Achievement unlocked. After I got knocked out, received my 5th place prize, stuck around, the remaining players struck a deal very quickly, wanted to get a photo of the final 5, and Wayne Creek Bethlehem struck again. No photos, so no photographic proof of the 5 of us. Oh well. Finished 5th. 5th for $378. Messed up. If I had gone all in one earlier, whatever, it's an all in fest, who knows. If I had gone all in one earlier, I would have certainly gotten $1,000. But whatever. The goal is to cash. We cashed, finished 5th. 9 got paid. There was bubble protection. Does that count? Everyone just got mad at me as I was slow playing, as I was trying not to finish in. I was like the lowest stack for a while. Got pocket 9s at some point, which was helpful. Missed one double up, or maybe I was too aggressive with an all in. And I had ace 7 and went up against ace 6, and he didn't get the call. There were a couple where I went all in and probably should have just called. So I got to work on my final table game when I've got really good cards. But we finished 5th for whatever I was doing. So we made it. We're off to Ohio. So 2 days, 5 tournaments, 0 for 4, then 1 for 5. That works. Everyone was really fun to play with. I really like Wind Creek. They wouldn't let me take a winner's photo. I sat there waiting to take a photo with all of us who finished in the top 5. Nope, no fun here at Wind Creek. Can't take any photos in the poker room. Now, I knew that. They're religious. They wouldn't let me take photos of chips, but like after a tournament's over, you can't take a photo of... These people need to work on promotion. It's really across the board in Philadelphia. I don't know if it's Philadelphia gaming law. Maybe there's some sort of legal requirement, which you don't want to mess with the authorities. But we enjoy Vegas. I'm always taking winners photos in Vegas. So no winners photos. Everyone was super nice. Appreciated playing with them. After several bad beats, I did have one lucky hand where I think it was ace jack versus ace king, and that sort of win catapulted me here to the cash. So after all those bad beats or whatever, I was ahead 65-35 and 80-20. Here one time I was behind, straight came through, and then we catapulted up into the cash. So it all balances out. 2 days in Pennsylvania is not bad. There's tons of tournaments in Cincinnati. It looks like it's 2 in the morning. I'll drive to my dad's in Pittsburgh, sleep there, and then try and drive to a tournament in Columbus Halloween night. We'll see. We'll see how my sleep schedule works, but I think that would be the plan. Get to Columbus, do the Halloween tournament, and then run off to Cincinnati for the rest of Ohio. I grew up in Philadelphia. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I lived in New York for a long time. This really hasn't felt like cross-country travel. It's been fun. Everyone's been cool. Lots of Philadelphia accents here. But now traveling to Ohio, I've not driven a lot. I don't know if I've ever driven through Ohio. So now the cross-country part of this really about to come to fruition. So goodbye, Wind Creek. Thanks for the cash. They chopped it 3, so I came close to the 1,000+ score. But whatever, we needed cash. That was the goal. Got some money too. I've not been going to the ATM, which has been nice since Schenectady and the winnings. No need to go to the ATM. So we'll keep the cash in our wallet, and we'll move on to the next spot. Thanks for staying with us here in Pennsylvania, and we're off to Ohio, Pittsburgh, then Ohio. Here's another view of Wind Creek. This is Wind Creek at 2 in the morning. That's actually the hotel. The casino's back there, but I'm about to post on social that I cashed here in this tournament. So I'm gonna do that with Wind Creek here in the background, but giving you all a view of Wind Creek Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Oh, man, if I went to a third day in Pennsylvania, I would have been annoyed. This is nice. I was already getting annoyed earlier today at the end of that live one, so it's nice. 2 days in Pennsylvania. This is on schedule, totally on schedule. Now let's see how we can do in Ohio.
So we're driving from Bethlehem to Pittsburgh, where my dad lives. Gonna try and get a quick nap in Pittsburgh. And then I think I might try and make it over to Columbus tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Let's close with the profit and loss tracker. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And next episode, cue up Drew Carey, Ohio!